Hey man, you already know what it is. It's your boy Cheeseburger from Cheeseburger Productions, the Dank Daddy from the Dank TV. Who do I have with me today on the Dank TV?
Tara Casey.
Tara Casey, sis, what you got going on out here in the street?
You know, hustling.
Okay.
Like a bona fide hustler. No, I'm kidding. I got a single on the way with Antonio Breeze. Oh wait, no, it's not on the way. What am I talking about? It's out right now on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, Amazon, and yeah, the album's already out. It's been out. That's what's going on.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I understand, we gonna catch up. Okay, so I met you at a video shoot with an artist I was working with.
Yeah.
So how you been since then?
Good. Yeah, I've been working on music since then. I have working on my second album. Since then, the song dropped on the side featuring Antonio Breeze. And I'm also working on a new single with Lataj. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. He's based in South Florida. But yeah, so a lot of stuff on the way.
So how do you get in contact with these people? Like, how do you go about marketing yourself as an artist?
I feel like I meet people at performances that I do and stuff like that. And then if I'm not if it's not somebody that I already know, then I'm always looking for different ways to promote myself through Instagram and stuff like that. Always searching in the area to see, who's doing interviews and other artists I can collab with and all that.
You was doing a podcast before this, right? Previously,
Yeah, I just did a podcast I think last week. I have one tomorrow too.
Okay. So, where you from?
Sheesh, I'm from everywhere.
Yeah, you was talking about that.
Yeah, I was born in New York, raised in Connecticut. I moved to Florida 5 years ago, so I'm based in Central and South Florida right now. I've lived in Palm Beach, Coral Springs, and Orlando.
So what you like more, the South or the North?
I definitely like the South more. It's weird because I'm a mixture of both, but I like the peace and quiet, but at the same time, I'm so glad that I left Connecticut in particular. My hometown was very small, small hometown vibes. Nobody really did much. It was just, it wasn't a place for creatives and artists and stuff like that.
Okay, so what was life like growing up, back up north, in a small town?
Boring. It was boring, but I had family in New York too. I was born in New York, and I always had family in New York, so I would always go back and forth. Two completely different lifestyles, but I appreciate it because I guess you can say I'm not as sheltered as I'm not as underexposed as a lot of the girls or people that I grew up with, in...
You've been around some shit, you've seen some shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
22.
22 years. I don't think age really, even at 22 you can be through so much.
For sure. Age doesn't mean anything. Not at all. A lot of older people don't get it.
Okay. So, did you have the bag growing up? Did you have money? Or was it a rough upbringing where
I definitely didn't have a rough upbringing.
Oh, you had the bag.
As far as a struggle or whatever, I feel like everybody has their own struggle. So if it's not money, it's something else. But I definitely grew up pretty well. I definitely didn't have to want for anything.
I was good. Please talk about that. I don't know what that life is. Please tell me, boy. I had to work hard for my shit, boy.
Well, like I said, right? I was exposed to both, so even though I would go home, even though I went to school in Connecticut and I grew up around other people who were privileged, I guess, or comfortable. I was also, I also went to New York on the weekend, so I would also see I got to experience the struggle, but I wasn't in it. You know what I mean? I got to see it, watch it.
Yeah. You wasn't consumed by it or anything?
No.
So, let's see. So, let me see. So, your upbringing. So, you wasn't even around the street shit like that. You wasn't in the streets. You were more like, all right, good upbringing. Probably in the church. Am I wrong? Like, you was in the church?
Partially.
Partially.
Honestly, I went to church more when I was in New York. Like, if I would go to visit my family, I would go to church on Sundays. But in Connecticut, there was really only one church in my town, and it was alright. It was alright.
Yeah.
But black churches are where it's at. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, most
it
definitely.
Hit different.
So, how was your mom and dad? Like, did you have both parents in the household, or was it a single parent joint?
Nope. I grew up with my dad mainly.
Oh, okay.
I didn't stop living with my dad until I was 16 when I moved here to Florida to live with my mom. She had already moved like a couple years before I did. So eventually I went to live with her. But growing up, it was pretty much just I lived with my dad and my siblings and a stepmom.
So you're the baby?
I'm the middle child.
Oh, you're the
well,
middle child.
See, I'm one of the older ones now. But growing up, it was 3 of us. And then later on, my dad had 2 other kids, my brother and my sister, with someone else. And yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So I grew up like I would see my mom on the weekends and stuff like that, and I also mainly grew up with my first sister's mom. Yeah.
So is music in the family? How you became an artist? At which point you do like, all right, I want to become an artist?
Definitely not. Music is not in my family at all. My family is more of like, definitely on my dad's side, they're definitely more educational. There's really no room for creativity like that. It's very just like school. On my mom's side, my mom only has me. So I always knew that I wanted to be a singer though. Like it didn't take long for me to decide like, okay, like I'm definitely, like this is definitely what I love the most, music. Probably when I was 10, I started doing like little local performances and stuff like that. I didn't really know I was good until like I started singing for people. So it was just something that I really, like I just loved music, and then I would start singing and then people would be like, oh my gosh, and I'd be like, okay, like I'm gonna roll with this then.
So tell us about your first performance you ever did.
My first performance I ever did, I don't know if it was, okay, my first performance outside of school was, I think I was 10, and I had been training with a vocal coach for like, I don't know, maybe 2 months. It was like at the YMCA.
Okay.
But I sung at like a local cafe. She asked me, she was like after class, when everybody went home, she pulled me to the side and she was like, do you want to perform with me at this local cafe? And I was like, okay, great. So I went home, you know, like I told my mom and my dad, and some of my family from New York came. It was in Connecticut, Norwalk, and yeah, that was like my first little performance. I don't even remember what I sung. I think it was No Air with Jordan Sparks. Yeah, exactly. I think.
Wait, is that the same? Why not get every window air? No air. Yes. We just took a blast from the past right here. Yes, yes.
That was it.
You sung it just like that back then. You sung it just like that.
Probably not. That was more nervous.
Okay. So when you went up there, did you have like stage fright? Was you scared or?
I always have stage fright. So I definitely did have stage fright back then. I still have it. Even when I was like, I remember like even being like younger and performing, it was like I would always do better on the second time around. So like the second time I would perform, I would feel a lot more comfortable. And like that's still how it is. So like if I perform somewhere and I do 2 songs, the second one's always better.
Okay. So who's your favorite artist in the game right now?
Oh, that's so hard. I always get this question obviously, but I really like, let's see. When I look for inspiration, I look more towards like the early 2000s, not gonna lie. I feel like that era really hit. Like that's still my favorite era as far as music is concerned. So definitely like early 2000s, Sierra, Sade, Beyonce, obviously.
Oh yeah.
And Cassie. Definitely that vibe, like cute but still sexy, but not too much, and very authentic.
Okay. So, how you been, like, since all of this coronavirus shit happened? Like, you have a lot going on. Like, did this shit stop your plan?
It definitely did, because it definitely pushed back a couple of trips. I was supposed to shoot, and I'm still going to, but a magazine shoot for I believe it was in Texas. Still gonna do it, and then it definitely pushed back an LA trip that I was supposed to do last month. But now I'm actually studying for the LSAT, so I'm just gonna wait until after I take that test to get back out there. Because right now I just need to focus on studying.
Okay, so you in school right now?
Yeah, I'm actually just I'm just done with my bachelor's. I'll be done on the 31st.
Your bachelor's in what? Criminal justice. So, how you think criminal justice will help you with what you got going on right now?
Oh, for sure, because, I think it's really important to know your own, legal stuff. To be able to look over documents and know what's going on.
What? They get flipped right here, boy. You better know that paper, boy.
That's something that I've always, even before I started college, I always, knew I was going to, be able to, understand. So even if I didn't, major in criminal justice, I was definitely going to seek, expertise on that and stuff like that. Because I feel like everybody should know that. But, yeah. Good luck trying to sue me. Right.
Okay, so speak on the time where you was in, some, whatever legal shit, you might got pulled over because you're willing to some shit.
Listen. Aside from that, that's some regular stuff, right? Being pulled over or whatever. But when I was how old was I? I think I was 18. And I was really this is when my modeling career was really starting for me. I started modeling a lot.
Alright,
yeah.
So back, y'all. A little technical difficulties, but that's fine. So back to you.
Yeah, so speaking of legal matters, when I started modeling on my own, because I used to model, but my mom would have to give me consent, or when I was, yeah, exactly. I had a boyfriend at the time. I would literally, my first shoot was when I was 16, and I would always have somebody with me and stuff like that. And yeah,
it's
so
also important too, having people with you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
But yeah, so this was my first time kind of venturing out on my own. One of the first times that I was modeling on my own, arranging it and all that.
Bossing up, doing your own.
Right? Because I had just graduated high school, so it was okay, it's time to do this, by myself.
Previous, your mom and everything was doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to mama. Yes, sir.
But yeah, so I did a shoot with this guy. I really would put his name on here, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. But he was just, he was so annoying. Anyways, he had asked me to, we did a shoot, and I didn't really like the way that the pictures were edited. Because I didn't realize he had never really shot with that many dark-skinned girls or just black girls, so his editing was just off. You know what I mean? My complexion.
What does that do with anything?
The editing, girl. Listen.
Your complexion being black, I feel if your lighting is straight, editing has nothing to do with anything.
but he okay, with us, technically, a lot of the times you have to turn up the saturation. It was outside, yeah. And it was just edited so, my skin tone just looked so gray and too washed out, too white, right? So I turned it down to I turned down the brightness to make it a little darker, because it was just the sun was going right through me. So anyways.
So you was pretty much just white.
Yeah, because I don't know about you, but sometimes when I'm in the sun, I just get too lit up. And you have to turn the photo back down. You have to turn the brightness back down.
Yeah, the aperture.
It's gonna look like you're not gonna have a face. It's gonna look like you don't have a nose.
You're gonna be a ghost.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyways, any brown girl on Instagram knows what I'm talking about. Like, you have to usually turn up the contrast, the saturation. You're gonna look gray, you're gonna look white, it's gonna look weird. So I did that. I like turned down the brightness a little bit. I like just darkened it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I sent it to him and I was like, okay, is it okay if I post this? And he was like, yeah. So I posted it. The photo went viral. Like, that was my first picture to circulate the Instagram.
Yes.
And yeah, so he sent me like a couple months later, he asked me why I haven't posted anything else, and it was because I just didn't like the way that they were edited. So instead of like, you know, editing all his photos, like, I was just not gonna post it. So he just kept like arguing with me about how I should post a photo. So I posted a photo, but like I said, I darkened it. Anyways, he had the biggest bitch fit about it. He was like, you know, like, you're editing my work and I don't like it and blah, blah, blah. And absolutely not.
Oh.
I haven't paid. I think the first time I ever paid for a shoot was when I was 16, and that was the last time.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, he was like, don't, like, I don't like it, like, don't, like, you can't post this, whatever. So I was like, okay, like, you literally asked me to post this. But yeah, he made a big deal out of it. He was trying to take legal action. He sent me...
There was no paperwork signed.
Right? Exactly. Exactly.
It was a free shoot. It was straight for print.
Exactly.
So
you
that
get
was... Your pictures, you do whatever. You get, you know, it's just like a trade. Like, all right, you get pictures.
Yeah.
And he get pictures to show for other models so he can, you know, continue doing business.
Mm-hmm.
Just go about your business.
I mean, he did have an LLC, though.
Okay.
So he was, like, he sent me, like, what the heck is it called? You know, like a written statement. Do you know what it's called? It starts with a C. It's like a statement of, I can't remember the word right now. Written, I can't remember what it's called.
Consent.
Yeah, it's like a consent thing. Like, basically, like, calling me, like, asking me to delete the photo. I was like, boy, your photos were not that great.
Or, because that shit don't matter. Like, if this after everything happened after, like, everything supposed to be handled.
Yeah.
Before, so that's a blank ass story.
The picture was still up when he sent it.
Mm-hmm.
When he sent the notice. So I was just like, whatever. I called my aunt, who is a lawyer, and I was like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
and then he posted all of like this stuff on social media, like, oh my God, don't work with her. I was like, okay, like, bro, you and your 300 followers, go ahead.
Yeah, that's like some female shit. Like,
facts.
Bro, don't take that shit, bro. Like, if anything, bro, like, just move on, bro. Like, you knew what you was getting yourself into. It's a free shoot. She take the pictures, she do whatever.
Exactly.
You take the pictures, you do whatever. Wop.
Exactly.
You feel me? Boom. That's it. It's not rocket science. I don't know why niggas be doing the most. Like, it's cool. Like, bro, like, just
chill.
Like, why people can't be normal? Like, that's too much to ask of people. Like,
why can't people be normal?
Like, I just asked of you to do this one thing and you want to do loop-de-loops and all this legal action.
Facts.
Come on.
Facts.
Okay, cool. But yeah, man, so any tips for upcoming models or artists that look at you and is inspired by what you do?
I definitely say just literally never stop. Don't give up, because I mean, the second you give up, you gave your place up to somebody else who's going harder than you. So that's just, I guess that's really it. As far as like modeling is concerned, getting into the industry, just know your boundaries, know your morals, because it can be like this industry can just test you. Yeah. That's with music too. That's with anything. Especially being a female.
Oh yes.
So know your boundaries, set them ahead of time, and trust me, like, money, well, you can spend it and it'll go away. If you ever do something that, you know, you have to like disrespect your own morals for, or disrespect your own self-respect, don't do it. It's never worth it. But I don't know, I'm not judging anybody. I'm saying do what you're comfortable with. That's all.
Okay, so what is something, you know, by your morals, what is something that is moralist that
to
you
me
would go against?
Personally, I don't do nude photography. I don't do nude modeling, and I just I don't even do lingerie. So, yeah. And Yeah. But if you do that, trust me, there's a lot of money in that if that's what you're comfortable with. And I mean, you can do, your limits can be as far as you want them to be. Just don't go against your own morals, because it's not worth it.
Okay. So, knowing you're a female in the industry, what is it like? Cause
you want me to talk about?
Yeah. I know it's like, it's like, it's easy, but it's not. Like, you know,
yeah, that's a good point.
It's always going to be something.
Yeah.
That's going to be a blockage in your path. You can speak on that, because how long you been doing this?
Like 5-6 years.
Oh,
I've been modeling since I was 16.
I know you got whoa.
I have so many, and like literally every day there's a new story. Every day, because when you start, honestly, I'm gonna give you all the real spill. When you start to get into like modeling, whether it's any kind of magazine, any campaign, any like forum, it comes down to, honestly, someone who's at the top, someone who's rich, obviously has enough money to spend to fund these things, and they're bored. So, I mean, this is all like Men's Illustration. It's all like, you know, men's entertainment. So just understand that when you get to the top of almost everything, it's literally just a rich guy who is bored, like, and is gonna pay you to, you know, engage in whatever, you know. He starts, like, they start organizations, like, I mean, it's okay, because, like, I mean, when you think about it, that's what this world is. This world is like female and male, but you know, sex sells. But yeah, so I mean, I
feel like people can really relate when you speak on your feelings. Everybody got feelings. Everybody got their time where they was down bad, or they got their heart broken, and shit. So, like, that gives you, you know, authenticity. It makes you like, all right, this person has substance.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I can relate. It's not just a blank.
Exactly.
Because there's so many people in this industry, so
music,
it's just like...
Exactly. Music is going to touch more people that can actually, you know, relate to it. It's gonna sit with, you know, the people who can actually relate, and the people who, if you're not going through it at that specific time, like, you've probably been through it, and it'll
at some
just
point
remind
in your
you,
life,
like, yeah, exactly.
High school, you feel me? X, Y, and Z. At some point in your life, you've been through some heartbreak. Okay, cool. At some point in your life, you've been through some heartbreak.
Yeah.
So that's what your music be about, or is on the project, or where's you at in your life right now?
This new album that that I'm working on, since you bring that up, it encompasses a lot. So this album, the real tea is that the start of the album is actually a continuation of the last album. The first two songs, they're both titled The Last. So the first song is called The Last Text, the second song is called The Last Song. And that was literally the last song that I wrote about that chapter of my life. And the next couple songs are basically about me finding myself again. And then the final couple songs are me basically starting anew, you know? New relationship, I guess. The mindset of finding love again and starting all over and facing your demons in the process. Okay,
so is that where you at in your life right now?
That is where I'm at in my life right now.
Okay, so what demons you fighting? What you got going on?
Definitely, like, it's more so like I don't trust myself. I kind of feel like when someone hurt me, I kind of like let myself down because I opened myself up to that person. So I'm kind of like, one thing about me is like I've always been very kind of like ruthless when it comes to protecting myself. So the fact that I let that wall down and then I got hurt, it's kind of like I felt betrayed, like, by my own self.
Right,
so
because you let that person get that far.
Yeah, so my demons are like more like me just kind of like not trusting my own judgment. It's not necessarily like I don't trust somebody else's intentions, but I'm just like, can I trust myself again? Because you know, when you get hurt, it's kind of like you kind of feel disappointed in yourself, right? Because it's like you let yourself down. Like, this is what we're supposed to protect ourselves from this. Like,
yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I was supposed to have my back.
Right.
But, you know, it is what it is. Especially when you're a girl and you're like, you talking about like, I don't know, you're a savage and like, you know, we
it's
all
hot girl summer.
right?
Shit.
It's hot girl summer, girl. So what you doing? What you doing? Crying? Fix it. So yeah, those are my demons internally, like myself personally, not necessarily like trust issues and stuff like that.
So what are you doing differently to help change all of that?
Honestly, this is gonna sound bonkers, but almost nothing. I almost haven't changed a thing, sis. I'm like the same girl. If anything, I'm actually more like open, because I have basically, it's weird because I kind of like, this is kind of like reverse psychology. I told myself that I'm not like hard to love. I'm not like this, the past won't repeat itself, and that I don't have to be worried. Because even going into my last situation, I kind of was like, I think subconsciously I was telling myself like, you know, like I might get hurt, blah, blah, blah. This time, like, I'm kind of just throwing that all away. I'm telling myself that, like, you know, I know my worth. So if I'm like living in my true alignment, there's no way that somebody else is gonna come and like mess that up. If you know, if you're like, if you're in your own like, if you're in the proper headspace, I feel like how are you gonna attract something that's gonna throw you off? You know what I mean? Like, so positive vibes over here. I'm definitely I'm probably even more like lovable than I was before this whole thing, because I'm not dwelling on the negative, you know what I mean?
So you learned about self-love, how to love yourself and everything like that.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy is this whole time I thought that I had mastered that, right? Like we always think that we have it down packed until something comes and, you know, throws us off.
It'd be a new challenge that break us down, but we come back stronger.
Exactly. Like back then I used to think that like I had it all figured out and like I love myself. What are you talking about? But do you know yourself entirely? That's the gag.
Yeah, and that's a life thing, you know, like, man, we still young.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You know, like, so.
It's exciting, though, because we have, like, our whole life to figure it out, right?
Right.
Facts.
But when you do figure out what it is, you be so happy.
Yeah.
I know my shit, I like to go to the movies.
Yeah.
Like, I like the movie hop. Like, you ever go to the movies, you just go to that movie. You just pay for one movie, you just go to that movie.
I've done that once.
You bring your own snacks from the Dollar Tree. And
I always bring my own snacks.
They don't check the bags.
I be bringing Chick-fil-A up in there. One time, okay, this is like a couple months ago. We walked up into the movie theater and Shorty said, "Let me check your bag." I said, "Sis, let me check your bag."
Right.
I went straight through. I mean, I did show her, but I was like, "Girl, what are you gonna do? Like, you gonna tell me to throw it out?
Right.
You gonna pay for it? All right."
That shit
let
get
me enjoy
expensive.
my Chick-fil-A.
Right. Chick-fil-A ain't McDonald's now. That shit get expensive.
Quality.
Yeah, you paying for quality. Goddamn. Yeah. So, what do you got to say to all your supporters out there that support you right now?
Oh my gosh, I love my supporters. My supporters have actually been showing out like this since my album dropped. I didn't realize how much support I had, and like it's been insane, and it's been like so amazing. Like I literally am obsessed with you know, the messages that I get, like people who actually support my music, people who actually listen, like, and people who like look up to me, like girls in particular, like younger girls. That is beyond, like, that's crazy to me. Because, like, I used to literally be that girl who was, like, messaging her, like, idols on Instagram, like, "Oh, my gosh, I love you," and stuff like that. And I'm just like, wait, what? Like, people are actually sending me those messages, and I'm like, that's crazy. That's just crazy to me. Like, I'm so humbled by it, and it's just amazing. I can't wait for, like, you know, shit to really pop off. Because then I'm going to be like, I love you.
Right.
Like, that's my support. You know, that's my team. So. Okay,
so do you have, like, a name for, like, your followers or supporters? Or
I don't, and it never occurred to me to make one.
Like, you know, like Beyonce got the Beehive.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know. I need to come up with one. I feel like when I
think they'll appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a connection.
Yeah.
Between
when my fan base expands, then I feel like then I would come out with a name so everybody can jump on the bandwagon. For now, we gonna keep it cool. Like.
Okay. So there's a whole lot of rioting and protesting going on. So I'm gonna tell you my thoughts about this, and you tell me your thoughts about it. So what is you doing as far as your part, as far as the protesting, or do you even feel like you have to do anything?
You want me to go first?
Yes.
Well, I haven't been protesting. I wanted to, but
It's hot, ain't it?
no, it's like I haven't. The only one that I found out about, I was leaving town when I found out about it.
Yeah.
So I never got to go. But
It was a 7-day thing, I think.
What are you trying to put me on the spot?
Oh no, I was just like,
it was
damn,
7
like,
days.
like how can you wake up every single day and like, all right, protest.
Okay, here's
protest. Like after the first day, I was like, okay, I'm hot, I'm tired. I walk up and down the street. Let's go.
There was one on like I think on the 3rd, and that was the day that I drove back to Palm Beach. And then when I was in Palm Beach, I didn't hear about anything else.
Right.
So I don't know. That was the reason why I didn't go. I would have liked to go to at least one of them. Whatever. But as far as like, you know, just supporting the movement in general, I think that this is actually really crazy to me because I grew up in predominantly white areas, and so it's really insane to see like some of like my old like classmates from high school posting like that black square and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I used to be bullied like in my freshman year, my sophomore year, my first couple years of high school before I moved to Florida. Mm-hmm. I was bullied for like my skin complexion or like sometimes my weight too. But literally people would say the most out-of-pocket stuff, like referring back to slavery and whatnot at me.
That shit sucks. I hate when that shit happen. Like me, I come from that shit don't happen. I'm from the west side. Yeah. You feel me?
I mean, if you're in like a black area, then it's not that much. It's not like as likely.
Yeah, but when that shit happen, you don't even forget about that. It's like a different type of vibe they be coming with. I'm like, bro, that shit is uncomfortable. Right? You don't forget it. It's just like, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I feel like, unfortunately, I actually grew, like, I guess you can say a tolerance to it. I'm not really affected by it that much because I'll just let people say what they say. They can say what they want. It is what it is. At the end of the day, you can bring up slavery from years ago, but we're in the same classroom. Right. Like, you live down the road. So, I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, you can say what you want, but, like, I mean, if anything, you know, I'm proud of my history. So, I mean, it just is what it is. But getting back to, like, my point is, like, you know, yeah, seeing them post a black square now, it's like, okay, Karen, I see you.
Yeah, Karen, goddamn
it's progress.
Karen.
You know what I mean? And these are, like, literally girls that I grew up with.
Yeah.
So, you know, I like to see it, but it's not enough. Like, we want the whole, you know, like, there's a lot more to be done.
Yeah, that black square don't do shit. I feel like people do that shit as a trend. Like, okay, you know, that person doing it, I'm gonna do it too. Hell no. Like,
exactly.
You don't get it. So you just want to follow the trend.
I actually saw people, I don't even want to say this because, like, it's a little bit personal, but my family is, like, mixed up a little bit on my mom's side. And it was, like, my biracial cousins, some of them did not post anything until, like, that black square day. And it was like, girl, you had this whole time to post something, like, regarding this whole thing, and you've been completely silent. Mm-hmm. And then now that you see your white friends posting a black square, now you feel like, oh, okay, well, I guess it's comfortable. Exactly. Like, I guess it'll be okay. Like, the point is, like, to not be, you know, like, to not be stopped by other people's opinions. The point is, like, to speak up and do the right thing, because before you do it, nobody else is going to do it. You know what I mean? So it's about putting your foot forward and, like, not caring about judgment, because you're always going to be susceptible to judgment when you stand up for anything that you believe in.
Right.
Period. And if you go your whole life, you know, just being like this version of what everybody wants you to be, you'll be the literal, like, the most unauthentic person on the face of this earth. You can never please everyone. Stand up for what's right. Period.
Right. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people was out there, like, not even for the cause.
Yeah,
like, you don't know why you're out there. Like, okay, y'all seen other people do it in other cities.
Yeah.
And now y'all feel like, okay, this gives us an opportunity to riot, break into places.
Nonetheless,
boom, boom, boom.
Nonetheless, I am still honestly very proud of the white people in particular who showed up at the protest. I take that very personal. That means a lot to me personally, because, like, it's been a long time coming. Like, y'all should have been out there a long time ago, like a couple years ago when it was Sandra Bland or whatever. Like, you should have been out there. Oh
boy, what's his name?
Trayvon.
It's Trayvon Martin.
Yeah. So, but
and how you feel about the police is still on the run? Like, bro, they still ain't got George Zimmerman.
Yeah, but they're not going to. They're not going to.
We don't want justice no more. I don't think the people want justice no more. I don't think they want peace no more. That's what I think they want.
Here's what I say. People, okay, I don't promote the looting. I don't. However, the people who focus on the looting, you're missing the whole point. That's number one. And number two, for every like white person who fixes their mouth to say that looting this and looting that and blah, 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 and that there shouldn't be violence, you should be grateful that we're asking for equality and not revenge. Because honestly, that's what really should be going on, to be honest. But
yeah,
I'm proud of the progression regardless. I'm proud of the progression. Like, even if they're just out there because they see their friends out there, it's still something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, versus nobody being out there. And, you know what I mean? Like, us just having to, like, defend ourselves. And it's not enough. It's not enough because we need everybody.
Right.
Like, the human race.
Like, everybody. So, do you feel like shit is going back to how it used to be back in the day, like with Malcolm X and everything? Like, do you think it's like a repeat in history?
I don't, because I think that racism has not gotten worse. It has just been more publicized. It's being recorded now, whereas back then there was no social media, and before that there were no phones to record anything. I think that it's just being more, publicized now,
televised, yeah.
And I do think that slowly but surely we're headed in the right direction. And with this movement specifically, I'm seeing tremendous progression. This is the first time that they're actually like implementing new protocols for police officers. Like, there's actual stuff being done here, like, whereas back then there was not. So this is like, I don't know, this is really good. I'm like proud. I am proud. It's not enough, of course, but it's a start. And I'm going to acknowledge that it's a start.
Okay. So now I'm going to tell you.
All right, here we go.
In my opinion, how I feel about that.
You think we're going back?
About like the protesting and that, and I also give my opinion about that too. I feel like there's more than one way to do your part. There's some people like that just want to stay out the way. We don't want to protest. We feel bad what happened, but we ain't gonna get out in the streets.
Yeah.
Cause I feel like that shit, it takes
not everybody, exactly.
Yeah, like a certain person.
Not everybody feels the need to do that.
Yes.
And it definitely takes.
See
yeah. And it definitely takes more. It takes somebody who like, okay, the people who are like more like individualists, they might not feel the need to do that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because they feel like they can get their point across without necessarily going out there and possibly risking their own life.
Right.
And I don't know, like, personally, I admire the people who have heart and put their lives on the line. That is an admirable trait. However, if I had a husband, I wouldn't want him out there. My son wouldn't be out there if I had one. That's just on period. That's just my own opinion, because I would be too worried, unfortunately. But yeah. And there are other ways. It's not just that anyway. You know what I mean? It's not just that anyway, because a lot of the people who are out there protesting, they're not going to donate. And some of the people who are donating don't want to protest. It's okay.
Right. And
we're all playing our part in some way. It'll all work itself out.
Yeah, because it's just like, bro, all that protesting and everything. I feel like, bro, like, can we just have, like, a reasonable talk? Like, can we be...
Facts.
But at some point, like, I can understand why, like, people don't want to talk, like, do that, like, peacefully. Yeah. They want to riot and be...
Yeah.
And do all that extra shit. Yeah. So I'm just like, I understand.
But you know what? It's a reflection of the racism. Like, that's what it caused. Like, so when you see the broken glass on the floor, and when you see the fires and blah blah blah, look at that as the racism. Look at that as the pain. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Everybody has a different way of showing it.
Right. So now I'm gonna tell you my opinion about is history repeating itself. Okay. I definitely feel like it is, but I feel like we're ready this time.
Okay.
Because last time, the shoe was on the other foot. We got guns now. We got access to all of that shit now.
You said we got guns now.
And
okay.
I feel like it doesn't have to go there. Hopefully, like, all right, because I'm a cool, laid back person. I don't like to do all that extra shit.
Yeah.
I just know, like, things are more advanced now.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, all right, you don't have access. It's just not you access to all of these guns. Everybody has access. So I don't want it to get to that point, but hopefully things settle down. Like the curfew's been lifted. Okay, y'all, you know, but I feel like the death of that nigga, you feel me? That shit was...
Yeah. I understand what you're saying, too, as far as history repeating itself. I don't think that the racism is getting worse, but I think that we're coming back and we're standing up for ourselves again. And on like a monumental level.
Yes.
More monumental than we've seen in my lifetime.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right. So, what do you want to be the result of this? What do you want? What do you want to see the result of this?
I just want to see real change. I want to never have to turn my phone on and see another black name on Instagram. No more gruesome videos. I'm tired of it. Yeah. Like, you know, it's not right. So, that's what I want to see. And I want to see all the little, like, you know, the racism that just lurks in between, the invisible, you know what I mean? Like the racism that just exists, like through social media, like TikTok, and TikTok is like a racist ass app these days. It's just gross.
How's it racist?
It's just, there's just a lot of stuff. It's weird. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just weird. And the tension between the races is just not okay. Like, it's just whack. Like, it's lame. Like, get over it. Like, there's no need for this. Like, just let it be. Like, it's just nasty. Like, you can sense the hatred. It's just not. Yeah. It's just not it. But I don't know. I've definitely, especially like just seeing the races come together this time. I think it was awesome because it symbolizes and it showcases, like, okay, like, we're coming together. We can see it now. You know, people aren't just in their houses. It's like you can when you go outside and when you see on social media, you can see everyone of all different colors coming together for one race, and that's dope.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now that everything, you know, is been lifted, coronavirus is still a thing, but
yeah,
things are opening up. You got any tours or any?
Sheesh. You know, somebody else asked me about that yesterday, I think.
Anything like
I
that?
guess I would consider doing a tour, I guess, but in the sense that, like, traveling and booking shows. And I mean, whenever I travel like a lot at a time, it's usually modeling and music based, but I've actually just been venturing off more into modeling. So, no, backwards. I've actually been venturing off more into music. I've pulled back on modeling a lot in the past couple months. It's weird because I told myself I was going to do that, and then this whole thing hit. And then boom, like, there was just less work. So I was like, okay, you know what? This is cool. Because, like, I kind of like not doing it. If that makes sense. I like not always shooting all the time. It gets superficial sometimes. It's, like, unfulfilling sometimes when you get to that point. But I think that a lot of things can get like that if you do too much. Overkill. Like, workaholic.
Yeah, it starts becoming more work, less fun.
Yeah. And then, especially with something like modeling, you start to ask yourself, like, literally, what is this for? Like, that it's just not, like, it's not fulfilling enough sometimes.
Yeah. So when you feel like you're not fulfilled, like, damn, like, all right, I'm
music.
Okay,
that's the answer to your question.
Okay,
yep.
Okay, that's
music
the go-to.
Always.
So it's like model music.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
In school.
In school.
Yes.
So how do you balance all your time?
I don't even know. And people think I'm so busy, but I'm really not. Like, I have a lot of things, but I put myself first. I put my mental health first, my well-being first. And yeah, I used to be a workaholic. I used to be a manager at American Eagle, like, when I was 19, and I was such a workaholic. Like, I literally only had 2 days off in the week, and those 2 days I was at school from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Damn.
I know, like, I would never sleep. Like, and then imagine going to the studio. I would literally be there till, like, you know, I would have to go, like, I wouldn't get off work till 12 because, like, with retail, you have to clean up the store,
studio, like,
right? And then you have to
ready to record, like.
Insane. But I quit because I was like, you know what, like, I was making a lot of money, but what was I doing with it? Like, I couldn't spend it on anything. I never had time to, like, you know.
Did you say some investments?
Yeah, of course. Like, I always make big purchases, so, like, you know, you deserve it.
You got to bless yourself. You got to treat yourself nice.
Yeah, exactly.
So, are you a materialistic person when you shop? You like to go, you buy a lot
Oh
of
my
shit.
gosh, I buy so much stuff. It's actually getting to the point where it's literally so unhealthy and I don't know what to do.
Is it shoes?
It's clothes mainly.
Clothes, period.
Clothes. Like, I don't know why. Like, and it's like actually bad. Like, I need to stop it. My sister's nothing like me. She does not shop at all. So I don't know why I'm like obsessed. I need to stop like immediately. So I'm gonna work on that, literally.
I mean, shit, if you got the money, blow it.
Exactly. But I started to realize, like, even though it's not just a money thing, it's like, why do I literally feel
Need all
like
of this shit.
I'm like fiending? Like, I'm
What's your sign?
fiending. Pisces.
Oh, you're Pisces. Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know.
And it's like, I can't, the thing is, it's Instagram really, because I see a girl with a dress and then I have to go find the dress. Like,
Yeah.
that's literally me. It's not okay. But yeah, if it's cute, like, I just like, and then it just sparks like that part of me that's like, okay, it's time to go shopping again.
I mean,
and
you're
it's like
artist,
the
so you
fifth
gotta keep
time
up
this
with your
month.
looks and shit, you know, your clothing.
Yeah, but
so.
like when you have too much, it's like, what are you doing?
But what is too much?
Clothes that you don't wear. Clothes that I haven't worn in like years. And like what I try to do now is like I try to sell them on Depop, which is cool. But I already have so much, I don't understand why I keep buying.
Right.
That's my thing. I don't get why I keep doing it.
Damn.
It doesn't make sense at all. Like,
As long
guys,
as you-
this is like a real problem. Like, some people are shopaholics and other people have their addictions, but like, it doesn't make sense.
So what's your
There's
favorite
something
mall to
internally
go to?
wrong. My favorite what?
Your favorite mall?
I don't even go to the mall like that. I normally shop online.
Online.
Yeah, I love Opali. Opali has the cutest dresses. This is not sponsored. Urban Outfitters, I literally live there, practically. Everything I wear is pretty much from Urban Outfitters. And then I like to find little small boutiques online and stuff like that. I love to support Black-owned businesses
Facts.
and all that.
I feel like with the shopping problem, you'll grow out of it. You
I
feel
hope so.
me? You like, damn, I done spent so much money.
Right?
That when you look at all that money you spent, you can be like, damn. Like, what the fuck was I thinking?
I would, yeah, exactly.
It's, yeah, you gotta
And
let
it just
that
sits in
reality.
your closet. I'm literally going to try. I'm
Yeah.
going to try.
So shit.
But the good thing is that I don't spend money on food. Like, I don't eat out that much. I cook at home.
Okay, so you know how to cook.
Yeah,
what you,
for
what
sure.
You know how to cook. What you
Everything.
got? What you got going on? What's
Every
your
darn
favorite plate to
thing.
mix?
Ooh,
To mix up?
probably
Do your thing.
shrimp Alfredo, because I put like bacon in it. Shrimp Alfredo is my favorite.
When was the last time you cooked that?
I also, it's been a while because I've been trying to stay away from dairy, but I cook every day. So I cook something every day.
You save money like that.
Huh?
Save money like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
If I'm feeling like lazy, then I'll go to like Chick-fil-A or Zaxby's.
Okay, so
So I guess it's okay that I spend money on clothes because I don't spend money on food. Like most people spend
You
money
gotta
like
balance
every
it
day
out,
on food,
so-
and I don't. So
if it was money, if it was like clothes and
Food, then it would be
then
too
I'm
much,
like, all
right?
right, cool, all right,
Yeah.
just chill. But if it's just one thing, I'm like, okay, what else is your money going
Yeah.
towards? Like other than the bills.
also
but
I
that's
do buy a lot of
mandatory, you know.
jewelry. I like jewelry too, but I don't even wear it. But I love gold jewelry, necklaces, earrings.
But you don't wear it.
I mean, I do wear it on days that I go out, but it's like not enough for me to like justify buying so much because I don't wear it. I don't go out that much, so it's
You
like,
only wear them on special occasions.
yeah.
So you didn't feel like coming on a Dank TV was a special occasion.
Well, boy,
I
what?
am hurt.
Look, I got some earrings on. These are my everyday earrings. I pretty much wear this watch pretty much all the time I go out. I actually didn't buy this watch. Someone gifted this to me.
That looks nice.
But right, it's fine.
Yeah.
I was like, thank you.
It's in a rose gold too. I
Right?
like the rose gold.
With the blue interior, like okay.
That's a nice little contrast too.
Facts,
Like it's
facts.
easy on the eyes. Like
Yeah, I know.
ooh.
And I'm not even a watch person, but shout out to the person who gave me this. You won't get it back.
Ooh, no, not that one. Not that one. Mm-mm. So, what do you got to say to the people before we wrap it up real quick?
For everyone who supports me, I literally love y'all. Definitely, my eyes were open to like all the support that I got with this most recent album. I was not expecting it. And it's been amazing and humbling and just awesome. And I can't wait to drop some new music for you guys. You guys are going to love this second album. If you like the first one, girl, this second album is going to be everything.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So where the people can find you at on all your streaming platforms, all your social media platforms, everything like that?
I am Tara Casey, TaraKasey, all around universal on all the platforms. But on TikTok, you can find me at T Casey. But if you search Tara Casey, it will still come up.
So what's that TikTok life about?
I don't know. I've just been getting into it. I kind of suck. It's cringy AF, but we're rolling with it because, you know, just being authentically me. But yeah, my TikToks are literally so embarrassing. I'm getting way too comfortable on that app. So go follow me now before I delete everything.
So you be doing like reactions and shit? Or?
I do lip syncs. I just find TikToks that are funny and I just remake them.
Okay.
Yup. Or like the new dances. I can't keep up with all of these dances. Like Renegade, no. I can't do it. It's too much. Y'all move too fast for me. There's always a new dance. By the time I learn the first dance, y'all got a new one. Exactly. Like, come on now. I'm 22.
I'm still talking the full-time shuffle, nigga.
I feel old. TikTok is like the app where you feel old now. That's scary. But then again, TikTok.
Damn, you just made a new app.
What? Y'all don't steal my idea.
You already know what it is. It's your boy Cheeseburger from Cheeseburger Productions, the Dank Daddy from the Dank TV, and who do I have with me today?
Tara Casey in the building, outside.
Yes, sir. In the flesh. Yes, sir. So we out this bitch. Yeah. Gang, gang.
Gang, gang.